Oh boy. Look what we've got.
I don't know if most of you know or not, we did a live stream where I talked about the Gray Ghost having a water leak coming from around the engine area. Now, I assumed that it was going to be a head gasket or something like that because I did a pretty smoky little burnout up here in the driveway not too long ago. And you got to remember, guys, this car was built in the early 80s by my dad and a friend of his. And I did blow a head gasket years ago, so I know one's been changed back in the mid 90s. But my point is, even then, like these head gaskets have been on this thing forever, and I just assumed that we had an issue with that. One of the head gaskets popped. But let's go underneath the car and analyze this and see if we can figure out where this water's coming from. And then what we'll do is we'll unbox all of our new goodies that we got for this car, and then we'll talk about the plans for it. You guys see that little brown pinhole? Yeah, that's a freeze plug, and it has a freaking hole in it. And of all the freeze plugs that it could be, it's the one behind the motor mount. So that's where all the water's coming from. Now you might be thinking, well, hey man, that's better than a blown head gasket, right? No, not really. Not really, because now to get to this thing, I pretty much got to pull the engine up and get it up out of the way. That's the issue with the 65. It's not, here's the thing, it's not really that big of an issue, but it's something I want to go ahead and address. Now, that's a rusted spot, which worries me because that means any of these other freeze plugs could be in the same condition as that, and that's not good. Anyway, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and set the camera up, open up all these parts that we've got. Oh, wow. I did not realize these things were that heavy. This is the fender extension for the 65. And guys, this is heavy. I mean, seriously, I did not realize that these things weighed that much. I bet you that's at least probably 4 pounds. Like 3 or 4 pounds right there. That is nuts. We have everything to fix the filler neck with now, so we don't have to leave that thing open like it's been this whole time. So that's really good. That'll keep all the dirt and debris from getting in there because it's just been kind of chilling for the longest time like that. So these are bumper bolts right here. These are clamps. This is what holds your fender on, what pulls it into the side of the car. So you actually put these in, there's a spot on the inside of the fender, and then this pushes through the body of the car, and you bolt it in from the inside of the car. So got both of these, that way we can set our fenders up correctly. I think I know what this is. Oh yeah. Guys, I'm really excited about this. It's these little touches, even though the car's not ready yet, it's these little touches right here. Check that out. Oh man. Do you know the last time I've held like one of these really nice like this? Never. Never had one that nice. Obviously it's a reproduction, but man, it looks so good. Check it out. So this, wow, that's a lot of stuff in there. This is the whole front grill assembly, your headlight buckets, if you will, for the 65. So we had to have all of that because all of our stuff was pretty much gone. There's your headlight buckets. It's even got your little chrome trim piece there. All the screws and everything else. And here is this is something that I've been excited about for a long time. Look at that. I mean, they make all of this now. Reproduction stuff that you can slap in your car and replace all this because these type things are getting really hard to find. A couple little casting imperfections, but none of this is going to be seen anyway. Pretty much only this right here and then the outer bezel piece. So I'm really, really excited about this. And obviously the other box is the exact same thing. And here's our passenger side rear floor pan. We're gonna need a section about like that out of this. So, cool. We're missing a box, but I think it came from the West Coast. If you guys don't know, we are on the East Coast, so it takes a little longer to get. Yep, cool.
All right, I'm not gonna take these completely out. I'll get this up here so you can see. Man, this car, since I have owned it, has never had front or rear bumper, I don't think. If it did, it was rusted completely out. I can't remember. Definitely not had new ones though, so that's really cool. So we got our front and rear bumper. We have all of our bolts. So y'all, I'm really excited about this. We finally get a chance to get started back on the 65 with some good parts. And that's the thing that we've really been kind of lacking over the year is good parts. We've had a lot of little things that we needed to do. These bigger pieces cost a lot of money, and we were able to finally kind of get them, slow down with the Fox bodies long enough to be able to buy the parts that we need. Also coming are the brake lines. So we have all new brake lines coming for the car. So we'll get all that done. We will rebuild the rear drums. Now I know a lot of people want to know, hey, you know, are you going to be putting disc brakes on this car? Not right now. We just want to get it running and driving. At some point, if we choose, we can go ahead and put some disc brakes on it, but right now, none of that. So anyway, we're gonna address this and get the old 65 a little bit closer to doing some body work. So I hope you guys are excited for some of this Gray Ghost content because it's coming. We did put the bumper braces on, so we got all of our brackets somewhat loosely mounted up there. And we will be replacing all of our bushings, of course, because they're all rotted away. But we're gonna keep the stock suspension on this car for now, minus the Shelby drop. We're gonna do the Shelby drop and probably some Scott Drake lowering springs. But the problem is with the lowering springs, these things are so old, the lowering springs will probably pick the car back up a little bit, so I'll end up having to cut some off, but at least we'll have new springs. I was gonna put the shocks on this order, but I decided to wait, so we're gonna do shocks and suspension probably on the next order, and then wheels and tires. And the reason why I want to go ahead and get wheels and tires put on this car is because with the drop and wheels and tires and all the pieces put back on the car, it's gonna breathe new life into this project. Don't ever feel bad about, you know, putting new wheels and tires on a ragged out, ratty project. If that's what you need to do to keep yourself motivated, then do that. Think about it for a second. If I walk out here and I see this car lowered 2 inches all the way around, oh yeah, we're doing the reverse eyelet drop in the back of the car for the leaf spring. So we're doing all that. But you come out here, you see this car lowered 2 inches all the way around. It's got really badass wheels and tires on it. Like, what it's gonna do is it's gonna push you to get out here and get after this thing even more, right? You're gonna wanna see it run so bad because it looks so good. The problem, I think, for a lot of us, at least for me, is when we're starting on a project like this, it's hard to stay motivated when it looks like this. You got crappy wheels and tires, right? Nothing matches. The car sits up like it's on stilts. And to breathe new life into it, you do whatever you need to do. If it's exhaust you need to do, or if it's body panel fitment, I don't care, whatever it is that maybe doesn't go along with the norm like what most people would do, just go ahead and do it because you've got to stay motivated. If you don't stay motivated, you're gonna lose interest and your project's never gonna get done. With all that being said, guys, thank you so much. 2023, right around the corner. We're gonna be working on this, and we're also gonna be working on Andrew's car. That's coming up here real soon. I appreciate you guys, and as always, thanks for watching.